Does your child want to play guitar, but you have no idea how to get them started? Well, this is the video for you. Good afternoon, my name is Liam. I am a professional guitarist and music tutor and composer in the UK, and I have been for just a lot of years now. I've played guitar for many years in, I think, pretty much every style, and I've taught ages 11 to 60 something. My hope is that this video can get many more guitarists started. Unlike most of my videos, this one actually isn't for guitarists, but rather for the parents and carers of would-be guitarists. There's a lot of products out there that claim to be the only way to learn guitar or must-have accessories for new guitarists, and most of that is just, frankly, untrue. So I'm here to talk you through what your child actually needs to learn and what would be ideal based on my experiences as a tutor and a musician. I have zero ulterior motives in making this video. My YouTube channel is all about openness and honesty. The only thing I have to gain, and indeed the only thing I want, is that once your child gets to a point where they can start using YouTube as a resource, maybe you'll point them in the direction of this channel and get them to subscribe. So let's say you've already bought a guitar. If not, there is a video on this channel about how to not waste your money when buying your first guitar, so I suggest you check that out if you need to. Or maybe you just have a guitar lying around the house. The thing I got started with was a really simple beginner's guide style book. I was about 15 when I started, mid-teens certainly, so that would have been the very early 2000s, so probably a bit older than most people when they want to start learning guitar. And I realised that books are kind of old-fashioned now, but they are still a valid source of information. So if you can get a First Steps in Guitar style book, I absolutely encourage you to do that. Even better if it has a play-along CD or something like that. Regardless of the information source, books, apps, YouTube videos, classroom music lessons, or a one-on-one tutor, these are the first things your child will need to learn. Tuning the guitar, how to hold a pick, open chords, specifically G, C, A minor, E minor, D, and D minor. If they're playing an electric guitar, they'll need to know where the volume button is and how to plug that guitar into an amplifier if you have one. And ideally, they would also learn the names of guitar hardware, so pickups, neck, body, tuners, bridge, that kind of thing. Those are the first things that a teacher will cover with a new student, but they will also be available on YouTube if you can't afford a tutor, for example. Or if you think your kid doesn't have the focus to benefit from a one-on-one tutor, and that's your call, you know your kid better than I do, then yes, I would suggest looking for those titles on YouTube. As a parent, you might even decide to learn those things yourself and then teach that to your child secondhand. Musician and Rocksmith are pretty good for younger guitarists because they are games. They cost more than they ought to, especially because in an ideal situation, you would be using them in addition to a one-on-one tutor. I did create a video a while ago about Musician and Rocksmith and similar software in which I basically said that they're not worth it unless you have a tutor as well. I still believe that very much, but often for younger students, their attention span is tiny, maybe minutes if you're lucky. So for them, a game style application could really be useful. So if your child plays a lot of video games or spends a lot of time on a computer, then something like Rocksmith could really benefit them once they know how to hold a guitar and play a couple chords. Consider what lessons your child is already receiving at school as part of their curriculum, assuming that by the time this video comes out, the arts haven't just been completely removed from schools. I found that the best teachers will make what they learn in a classroom relevant to the music that your kids will actually listen to for pleasure. So learning to play the xylophone might not be relevant to them unless they listen to jazz or musical theatre, which they might, no judgments. If their classroom teacher is teaching them instrumental skills, then they may have covered the basics of guitar for free, which is great. The school might be able to supply one-on-one music tutors inside of school hours, so I suggest you look into that as a priority. They're usually very affordable, and often schools will have some way of subsidizing the cost of those music lessons if you have money issues. There is no shame in asking. Once your child is familiar with the few things I said earlier, these are the next steps they will need to take. Warm-up exercises, power chords, and pentatonic scales. The next thing I want to look at is bar chords, and this is where guitar playing actually gets really tricky, so I urge you not to let them just give up immediately. This is also the point where most students will actually really need a teacher in order to progress. So if they don't have one already, now is the time to get one. So I hope that's helpful. Do consider subscribing if you want more guitar related videos like gear reviews, specific tricks and phrases, music theory, music composition, and occasional bits of music technology as well. Hit the like button as well, and don't be afraid to leave any comments or questions in the comment section below. That's what it's for. I release new videos every Friday at 4 PM GMT, so I guess I'll see you next Friday. Toodaloo.